When we tried to build a pool out of a tarp, cinder blocks, and faith, look. It was 112 degrees in the shade, the AC in the house was struggling for its life, and we were broke. Not cut back on spending broke, I mean pour water in the shampoo bottle to make it last kind of broke. Me and my cousin Rere were laid out in lawn chairs, sweat rolling down our backs like we owed it money, when he sat up and said the words that started it all. What if we made our own pool? Now, a normal person might have laughed that off. But in the South, when you're hot, bored, and broke, that kind of suggestion starts sounding like $1 million idea. I said, how we gonna make a pool, Rere? He cracked a warm Pepsi, wiped his forehead, and said, easy. We got a big blue tarp, a bunch of cinder blocks, and a whole lot of hose water. Boom. Redneck resort. And the thing is, we did have a tarp. Big one, too, left over from when the roof leaked during that thunderstorm that one time Mama tried to BBQ in the rain. So we grabbed that tarp, dragged it out back, and laid it across the flattest patch of dirt we had, right next to the chicken coop and behind the broken down fort we swore we were gonna fix next summer. Then came the cinder blocks. Rere said, we just stack them all around the edges like a border. That way the water stays in. Now, between us, we had maybe 14 cinder blocks. Maybe. But when you're desperate, you don't let logic get in the way of a dream. We started stacking like we were building the Hoover Dam, if the Hoover Dam was uneven, full of ants, and smelled faintly like expired dog food. Once we got the tarp secured with the cinder blocks and a couple bricks, a cooler, and an old tire, we ran the garden hose and started filling her up. And let me tell you something, it actually started working. We stood there, proud as hell, watching our homemade hillbilly pool come to life like it was a science project on Southern Engineering. I even said, we might be onto something. Should we charge people $5 to swim? Rere nodded. We could call it Club Dirt Water. We let it fill for about 2 hours. The water was lukewarm, had some twigs in it, and I'm pretty sure something from the chicken coop was floating on top. But still, it was ours. I jumped in first. Well, jumped is a stretch. I eased in like I was entering a holy spring. That water was only about 7 inches deep, but the vibe was immaculate. Rere followed, wearing goggles from Dollar Tree and holding a pool noodle like he was headed to the Olympics. We were in that pool for maybe 11 minutes when things started to go sideways. First, the chickens got way too interested in what we were doing. One jumped onto the side of the tarp, which wasn't meant to hold anything, let alone a nosy chicken named Bernice. The cinder block shifted. I said, don't move, Rere said. I'm not. Bernice balked, stepped forward, and that wall gave out. Boom. A tidal wave of muddy tarp water exploded across the yard, like Noah had pulled the plug. Me and Rere got swept straight into the patch of dirt by the porch. Chickens scattered. The dog barked. Mama came outside screaming, holding a spatula. What in God's moist name is going on out here? We laid there soaked, muddy, and slightly concussed, looking like Tisagi possums who got caught in a sprinkler. Rere coughed and said, it was supposed to be a pool. Mama just stared at us, shook her head, and walked back inside mumbling something about how this is what happens when you drop out of community college. The rest of the day was spent dragging the tarp back behind the shed, putting the cinder blocks back where we shouldn't have taken them from the porch foundation, mopes, and trying to explain to our neighbors why their backyard now had a surprise river running through it. Moral of the story: if your swimming pool requires a tarp and prayer, just take a cold shower and keep your dignity. Or at least, keep the chickens off the deep end.